Hello everyone, it's Noel from Noel's Nook, and today we are making our very own sketchbooks out of much larger sketchbooks. And you might be wondering, well, what's the point in doing that? Well, if you're like me and you have a lot of trouble filling a sketchbook in general, having something smaller and more compact is going to make you more likely to actually want to sketch, seeing as it's more portable and there's less white space to fill. First things first, I do want to note that this was inspired by another YouTube video, so I will be linking that in the description below, so please check that out before watching this video in its entirety. A lot of the technical stuff will be present in that video, whereas this is mostly just me showing you how I make things and why I make them. So when I buy sketchbooks, I do buy the larger format, and I do that for various reasons. For example, it's actually cheaper to buy the larger format, but not always, but just for this example it actually is, because I have actually broken down and done the math. Per square inch, this 19 by 24 Blick Studio Bristol Smooth, it retails for $11.49 on Blick's website, which broken down into square inches is about 2.5 cents per square inch. The 9 by 12 sketchbook retails for $3.29 on Blick's website, which per square inch equals to 3 cents per square inch. And you might not think that's like a really big deal. It's like half a cent more. But think of it this way. This 19 by 24 sketch pad comes with 15 pages, so does the 9 by 12. If I were to cut this into quarters to make 9.5 by 12 inch pieces, I would end up with 60 pages. To get the same amount of the 9 by 12, I would have to buy 4 sketchbooks, and that actually amounts to $13.16. So you kind of save money. I mean, it's little things like that that you really have to think about. And also, I don't really like a 9 by 12 sketchbooks in the first place. I actually really prefer to do like squares when I do drawings and stuff. I don't know. Something about squares, the symmetry, there's something I really like about them. So yeah, little math today. So the next time you're in the market for a sketchbook, really like break down the math and stuff. I'll put like a math formula or something down below that I use. And yeah, just see for yourself if it's worth it to buy the larger format or not. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. And see for yourself. Alright, so I have my paper already cut, and just for giggles, it is about 7 inches by 8.5 inches, or something like that. So what I used for the holes over here is this 3-hole punch. It's used for mini binders, for like planners, so it is capable of fitting like a piece of paper like this that is about 8 inches on the side, and it does it really well and does it really evenly. Alternatively, if you don't have something convenient like this, you can also use a single hole punch. It'll still do the job, but your hand's gonna get really tired. But you'll still want a single hole punch, period, because to do the chipboard part, you're gonna need something like this, where the thickness can actually get through here. It wouldn't go through here, unfortunately, because the slots are so thin. So you're gonna need some muscles, and you're gonna need a single hole punch, and like I mentioned before, you're gonna need some chipboard. I'm actually gonna cut some now. So how I'm gonna cut it, just so, you know, for reference for you guys, I'm gonna cut it, but I'm also gonna cut it to make it like about 1/4 inch longer on each of these sides, just to give myself some wiggle room in case maybe I do like mismeasure. And yeah, it'll also help when putting the cover on, and we'll get to that in a bit too. So you can actually make your covers several different ways. It doesn't have to be chipboard. But since we're on the subject of chipboard, let's talk about it. So you can acquire chipboard in several different ways. You can buy it on its own. Blick does offer very large size packs of chipboard for relatively inexpensive. One sheet, I believe, was about 59 cents. I bought quite a few because it was just cheaper to buy it in bulk, and I know I'm gonna put it to use. So there's one option. Another option is if you are utilizing a sketchbook just use the chipboard that's already like there. All you have to do is cut it the way you need it, and yeah, it works really well. And a lot of the time, the chipboard that is on the back of sketchbooks is really, really nice quality. Not all the time, but most of the time. Another option still, if you're not interested in chipboard, or if it's maybe too much of a hassle, try something else. So I just pulled these out randomly because I actually use these in my journal. Oh, and now it's having trouble, like, woo! Anyway, I use these clear sheets in my planner. And what these actually are, they are cutting boards from the dollar store. They're just plastic cutting mats from the dollar store. They came in a pack of 2 for $1. So you get this nice, large, kind of interesting... I mean, it's still pretty decently thick. So I think I might try this out, actually, with one of the sketchbooks I'm going to make today. And the really nice thing about the ring system, this binder ring system, is everything is customizable and interchangeable, which I love. I'm really big about, like, just customization in general. So this is going to be a really fun project for those of you who are like me. Alright, so we are getting back to making our sketchbook. So we have the paper already cut and it's hole punched. So we need to do the same to the sketchbook binding, or cover I should say. So depending on how you want your sketchbook to be, you can have your rings like perfectly centered or however you want it. I always kind of prefer things to be pretty even. So I'm just gonna eyeball my stuff here. I'm gonna mark where my holes are. Oop. And it's okay if you get, you know, graphite or whatever on your sketchbook pages. Doesn't really matter. So now taking my guides, just gonna hole punch. And I also found that the sizes of the holes differ from punch to punch. But it's not gonna make that big of a difference. So now that I've got that one done, it's time to do the other one. Again, making holes and then punching them. I don't think this project is for anyone who is too OCD about measurements. Like, there's gonna be some crooked edges, and to me, that's okay. All right, so let's look over what we're gonna need to make these covers. You're gonna need glue. Doesn't really matter what kind of glue. I'm using this tacky glue. If you, I don't know, you wanna be a little bit more advanced and wanna use something that's more archival, then by all means. You're gonna want a foam brush to apply that glue with, and also some water to keep the, just to make sure that this doesn't like get too crusty, like after you're done with your project. Make sure that you dip this in there. That way you can get some more use out of it and make some more sketchbooks. And this is actually optional, but if you want to make covers, like cover the chipboard, you can do that too, and you can use pretty much whatever paper will fit. This is going to be a tight squeeze with this paper, this gold paper. And I want to say this is probably about the poundage of like computer paper. It's not very thick. It's the same paper I used to make this one, and I had to be kind of careful because it did kind of wrinkle on me when the glue was on, but that's why we use the brush, to help spread the glue enough. Alternatively, you can also use cardstock, which tends to be a little bit thicker than computer paper, but also a little bit more bulky when it comes to like folding the edges in, but it's totally fine. Pretty much anything like that will work. I haven't used construction paper, so I don't really know how that would work, but trial and error. Maybe make a really tiny sketchbook and see how you like it. But I'm gonna go ahead and just like speed through the process of applying the glue and folding the edges over, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, so you saw that I actually did cover up the holes, which isn't a problem. We can still go back and fix that. We just need to get our single hole punch, which I hid under some stuff. And we just kind of have to find the holes again. And now, alternatively, you could do this step after you've applied the inside cover. I like to do it first, that way it doesn't have a whole bunch of stuff to try and punch through. So basically you just have to feel around and find those holes. I think it was on this side. Nope, this side. Was it this side? Yes. So you just gotta feel for the holes, and you'll actually see them kind of impress through the paper if you are using one that's thin enough. And if that's the case, you can just line up your hole punch and then just punch through. Super easy. Yep, there it is. Alright. There's one. 2. It is not always that easy. I just happen to be using really thin paper. And also your cover might actually bend. There's my phone. Your cover might bend a little bit, and that is okay. That is totally fixable. After you've applied your inside binding, your inside cover, if you are going to use one, then you can just like sit this under something heavy. If you are not using an inside cover, you're gonna have to wait for your glue to dry if you did go outside the seams like I did, and then put it under something heavy. But anyway, I'm gonna continue and I'll see you guys in a bit after this is finished. All right, so our first cover is done. And because these are pretty like ambiguous, you can use them, you know, this could be like a front or back cover. So you can make the covers pretty much in the same fashion. All you would have to do is like flip it around and, oh, it's a back cover, it's a front cover. So it's really nice to have a cover that I guess can serve as either one. So I'm actually gonna finish the other one off camera. You probably don't wanna see me like fuss with glue and stuff. I know I don't. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish that, and then I'll show you how to pretty much put the sketchbook together. Alright, so I have my 2 sides all done, and I apologize if you have really severe OCD and this bugs you. But I don't really care, because I just like the fact that this is like interchangeable and stuff. And I don't know about you guys, but when I draw, I don't know if it's because I'm left-handed, but I don't like the weird feeling of like a bunch of papers sitting on top of each other. I would much prefer like tearing out a piece of paper and drawing on like a clipboard. Something like that. But anyway, these are so versatile. So let's put this together. I have some loose leaf rings here. You can get these pretty much at any like office supply store. I got these from Amazon, and there's 100 of them. So I'm just gonna take out 3, and I'm actually gonna open them off camera because sometimes they're a little bit difficult to open. All right. Now we just have to do the fun part, which is threading the covers into the pages. And here you have it, the end result. A fully customizable sketchbook for all your sketching needs. I just absolutely love this idea so much. I'm really big into customizing things, and I'm really big into like just simplifying things. This is like right up my alley, super like travel friendly. I have no words. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more art related content from me, I would totally appreciate if you would subscribe. And remember to draw what you love and love what you draw in your own customizable sketchbook.